Welcome everyone. My name is Chad Welch. I'm the president of the Greater Miami Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So I want to just thank you all for joining us today at our Lunch and Learn. Today's topic is how well is your business? So
that's Chad. Me, I'm Dr. Gabby. I've been a professor of holistic health and mind body medicine the last 10 years, and what I'm focusing on now is supporting the next generation of entrepreneurs and professionals to become leaders in health and wellness, in consciousness. I have a community of women that I facilitate. There's about 50 women in my community now. We do Zoom calls every week. Jamie's in my group, Jackie in my group. And there's a lot of other amazing women in the group, hypnotherapists, massage therapists, health coaches, wellness coaches, and stuff. And we're trying to really cultivate a strong community here in Miami to really raise the consciousness and the leadership level. I mean, it's one thing to sort of practice one-on-one, but it's a different thing to really step out and be an influencer and to try to change the community. And as we all saw with the march this past weekend, we're really ready for change, right? We're ready for gathering and galvanizing and making positive change. And so Chad approached me about doing this lunch and learn, and he said, let's take the temperature of where the businesses are at right now. Like, let's take the temperature. Let's see where are people at and get a feeling for what are the pain points, where are the places that they want to grow and expand and learn and do deep dive, whether it's self-exploration or developing new skills. And so I thought that was a great launching place. That was a great way to start a conversation about what are the specific things that you need to, make your business and your life a little bit better in 2017. So that's what we want to do. So why don't you just take 2 minutes and circle on a scale of 1 to 10. Please rate the following aspects of your business. If you're not currently in it yet, you can think of the wherever you're at, like whatever position that you're currently in. Just do some reflections. If all of them don't apply to you, that's fine, but definitely relationships and attitude and things are going to apply to you regardless. And 1 means you're not happy with it, it's not working out so well, and 10 is you're really satisfied, you wouldn't make any changes. All right, so regarding the worksheet, you're going to write down your bucket topics. So we're calling these buckets. So we had a lot of branding hands go up. So in the branding bucket, you're going to write down, branding and marketing, and then write down 1 or 2 of your lowest scores, so business goals, logo, website, whatever those are. And you're not going to be able to fit all this stuff on here. You can use the doc, of either sheets of your paper, but we want you to start to think about some both short-term and long-term strategies that might be helpful for you. Is it that you need to hire a coach? Is it that you need to dedicate time every week to reflecting on your message and mission? Is it that you need to hire a photographer to take pictures? Like, start to think about what some of the action steps are that would raise this score. What would help you to raise the score short-term and long-term? So this is just a time to do a little bit of reflection. Go ahead.
Well, I just had a great awareness doing this that what I was lowest in was around the branding, marketing, but what I really became aware of when I was looking at this is that it really feels for me, it was just about a decision about where I want to focus where I'm at right now. And I can see that my strength is really in retention, in having lots of clients and they stay around for 10 years and it's so comfortable and I can keep working with those people over and over, where this kind of newness is just not really happening. Okay, I've been in the same home for 6 years and same computer, so I saw this from that, but it's just, for me, it's just shifting to being new. So I was like, okay, this week I'm definitely going to get a new computer because I've got the same computer.
All right.
Or, just something, or, that simple.
Yes.
Because I feel a lot of this stuff around the branding and stuff is that it's just, for me, it's more new and it's not as comfortable. And I'm, more
So, and there's a
strong.
little bit of a block that's coming along
Sure.
with that, right? So, and like you said, it's just a decision. I love branding. I love marketing. I'm excited to get involved with my branding and marketing. It's just a shift. So, great awareness. Thank you for sharing.
That's fun. New computer.
Yes.
Yeah, go figure.
Shopping. You're like, I'm going to sell the
See what I'm
Great sales.
So my long-term goal is to get some clarity on what I should do about this conundrum.
Right.
short term, I don't know.
I know.
Yes?
Yes. Okay, you already wrote the book, because I know your book.
Yes.
And you already see clients.
Yes.
So I think your best first step is to do a data analysis. It's hidden in your data. So you know the people that bought your book, and you know the people that you serve. And if you take like an amalgamation of that, that's your person. That's your person. And you have that data. You haven't accessed it or analyzed it. But it's the same thing as when we look at like who's coming to our website, you know, like where's the, it's like an audit. Like you audit what you've done already.
How do I know who bought my book?
You know, because I've been to some of your events, you speak at different events, you see the people that are attracted to your book. You have this data.
I mean, can I get it from Amazon?
You can try, but also look at who wrote the reviews. See if you can have a conversation with them. Do some, like an archaeological, sociological, of who the people are that were attracted to you enough to either buy the book or do the coaching with you. That's how I found my people. Like, that's how I know who my people are, was to put stuff out there and see who responded, and you already did that. So you're like 10 steps ahead. Yeah.
She's almost done.
Excellent. Thank you. Great, you're awesome.
So mine is, I help female health and wellness entrepreneurs to build a purposeful and profitable holistic business by membership in my Women in Wellness Club, courses and coaching. So those are my 3 pieces. So this is the who, and this is the what, and this is the how.
And this is also, you know, helpful in who are you writing to? Who's your target demographic as well?
Yeah, so word of mouth, face to face, like offline, like it's person to person talking, and online, the new online word of mouth is social media.
Exactly.
So this is the social media. So this is when someone shares your post, or this is when, you know, someone adds people to the invitation on Facebook. This is your word of mouth, but it's happening digitally. This is when someone forwards your Instagram post. This is when someone forwards your email newsletter to a friend. That is your word of mouth. It's just happening digitally instead of happening in a conversation.
Which is also key in facilitating doing business in the global marketplace rather than just localized. That's a really important distinction. And then if you want to get really specific, I mean, you could actually go in and use something like SurveyMonkey and actually create a survey built around certain parameters and send that out to your mailing list. And that's another great way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think my best advice with regards to platforms is to get proficient at one before you do all of them. Just pick one and get proficient at it. Learn how to use it. Build up the following there, create engagement, get people interacting with you there. Like, just pick one that you like and spend time there first. Because if you spread yourself too thin, you're not going to get the conversion that you want, and you're going to be miserable. So.
Under what group or section does a blog falls in?
Okay, so a blog is basically a website. But like blog means website. It means some URL that you have. Like my website, GabriellePolici.com, it's run by WordPress, right? And on there, I blog, I do all kinds of things, right? So a blog is basically some place that it's disconnected from everything else, right? It's like kind of like a spaceship floating in space. And you need to drive people to it. You need to find ways to get people to go to it to see what's there. A lot of times what people do is they build it and they just cast it off like a helium balloon into the universe, and it floats through the universe, and it's red and it's
then
shiny.
like one day they're like, oh, I'm going to put an article on there.
Okay, if that's your website right now, it's a waste of time. It's useless. No matter how good the content, no matter how good the photos, it's a waste of.
And I will say about
Helium.
WordPress, using that as your platform, Google loves WordPress. It picks
Right.
up WordPress very easily. So if you're doing a blog, I would recommend it.
So you need ways to get people to go here. You have 2 options. You have free and paid. Those are your 2 options to get people to go there. Free, all of this. This is a free way where people are already hanging out. to send them to this, okay? Paid is Google AdWords, right? So when people are on Google and they're looking for something, if you're not ranked high, then you're paying to get them to go to your website, or it's paid ads on a social platform. So paid on Facebook or someplace to get people to go there. But this is this is like going to a party and telling everybody what you do, right? And then they know who you are and what you offer. So anything that's not connected to this, you got to drive traffic. That's what it's called. It's called driving traffic to your website. Yeah. This is really interesting. So we were having a conversation earlier. They haven't started their business yet, but they have a vision for a co-working space for parents.
That's just mine, yeah.
Okay, that where they can bring the kids to the co-working space. So how is something like this relevant if you haven't come to full fruition yet on what you want to create? This, if you look at this, at least the last 4 buckets, if you itemize, this is a great template for thinking about your business plan. So whatever it is that you're wanting to create going forward, these are all considerations, whether you write these all out in a formal business plan or not, but you need to know where you're going to be and like what is the cost per square footage of that space. You're going to need to know like admin. Who's your admin? Are you doing all your admin or do you need admin help? What kind of equipment do you need? How much does it cost? What are your revenue projections? Like how much money do you think you need to make to cover your expenses for the business? Do you have clarity about your branding and your marketing? Who's doing the logo? Who's doing the website? Who's taking the pictures? Like this is a great template or blueprint if you haven't fully launched yet for things to consider about what you need. And you don't always think of this when you have the vision. When you're in the vision phase, you're like, it's like rainbows and butterflies, and like, this is going to be so great, but this helps you get a little bit more granular about the things that you need to execute on when you go into like full business mode. So that's what we were talking about earlier. Use this even if you don't have them completely executed. I love talking about money. I love money and I love talking about money. I think it's like a really critical topic, especially
In the holistic field especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the holistic field.
There's an underlying thing that there's something dirty about money, or that we're not allowed to make money and still be healers and light workers.
Okay, I just want to tell you a couple places where you can play with money, okay? One of the things you can do is you can play with pricing, okay? If you go to Starbucks, like I went to Starbucks and I go there every day and I shouldn't and I'm ashamed, but I do, and I get a double tall soy latte for $4.87. If I go to the local boutique, like cafe on the corner, the little Cuban cafe, for $1.35, I can get a cafe con leche. If I'm at the airport, I'm going to spend even more, right? Okay, so these are the ways that the same thing, the same service, it's the same, depending on the branding, the location, how desperate you are for it, like, you can play with pricing, okay? And yes, you're cognizant of what your target audience can afford, but that doesn't mean that your $10,000 signature product isn't appropriate for like a corporate training, okay? So, you know, your pricing can change based on your target audience, but like your content, the content you're delivering, whether it's self-care or whatever, is appropriate for different audiences, and different audiences will pay different amounts of money. So this is an area that you can play, right? Volume, right? If you have 10 clients, each paying $100, right? You're going to make $1,000, right? This is a game that you can play where you play with the price. Like you lower the price so more people sign up. Like recently I saw a kind of celebrity author launch a membership program where it's $10 to join the membership, right? But she has millions of followers. To be in my group, it's $99 a month. But it's more exclusive and there's only 15 members, right? So she has like 1 million and I have 50. So you can play with like, how many people do you want to reach? You know, if you're aiming for like 1 million people to be in this like guided self-care, meditation, whatever, if you get those numbers, you can be running Facebook ads and putting people through a funnel, and you can be growing that really big and fast. So play with volume as it relates to your prices. And then this one is one that often service providers completely ignore, which is passive income. I currently collect checks from several different places, and I'm not doing anything. So I collect checks from Amazon, because I wrote a book, and it's up there. So I have a book and I have a yoga DVD on there. And I just collect money. My yoga DVD has been there for 8 years, okay? I have a couple different platforms that bought my yoga DVD content. Udemy. And another place in the UK, I forget what they're called, but they send me money every time somebody does this, and I don't do anything for it, right? And then there's something called Evergreen Courses. I don't know if you know what that is. But that's building like course content. And then people are just buying it and you're just collecting money. So a lot of times, people in the health and wellness space, this is good for cooking. You can make cooking lessons and charge $10 for them, and people are just downloading it, and you don't do anything.
Like
So
the
just collect the
Skillshare
money.
is like the same, Skillshare app?
Skillshare?
Yeah, they have an
Yeah,
app.
right.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
It's
they
like
have this
Udemy.
app.
Kind of.
Oh, it's like Udemy? Okay.
It is like
That
that.
high is like, yeah.
Skillshare, and you get paid for that?
Yeah, you can.
Like, I get money
Yeah,
when
you
they
get
take
paid
my
for
class.
classes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So another area that people often ignore is this passive income area. There's a lot of ways you can play. Like with money, with pricing, with volume, there's a lot of different things that you can do here that you're probably not thinking about. You're probably just thinking about maybe the one-on-one session. And I'd like to offer a free 20-minute conversation with anybody that was here today. You can book that if you go to drgabby.genbook.com. Anyone that was here today, happily have a free conversation with you about anything that you're working on and any of the things that we talked about today. Please don't hesitate to set something up. It's a calendar, you can book right there.
Give it up for Gabby, thank you, Gabby.